Okay, so but the very first requirement is there must be presence of prochiral carbon. Okay, so that prochiral carbon should be converted into chiral units. So can you give me some example of these prochiral carbons? For example, हाँ जी केड़ा प्रोकायरल कार्बन होएगा कोई एग्जांपल दो जिससे ਆਪਾਂ रिएक्शन कर सकते हैं
acetaldehyde
कार्बोनिल ग्रुप okay simply carbonyl group. Okay, so this carbonyl group act as a prochiral carbon, so it can react with the nucleophile to, and it can be easily converted into a chiral unit. So the very first requirement is there must be presence of prochiral carbon that can be converted into chiral unit. Second, now what is the second requirement? Bolo, for preferential formation of one stereoisomer in excess as compared to another stereoisomer. What is the requirement? बोलो हुणे दस के हटिया आवाज आ रही है कि नहीं?
the chiral environment होना चाहिए.
The requirement is there must be presence of chiral environment. So there must be presence of chiral environment. Okay. So this chiral environment, it may be present in form of your chiral substrate. That means the substrate over which you are doing your reaction, the substrate which consists of prochiral carbon, it is also chiral. Okay, so your substrate may be chiral or
Solvent.
your substrate may be chiral, but you can modify it, a chiral substrate modified with some chiral auxiliary group. That means your starting reactant molecule जिस ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ prochiral carbon present है ਉਹ molecule ਕੀ ਹੈ achiral है overall, but you have attached some chiral auxiliary group to that molecule and because of that it become chiral, so that will provide you a chiral environment. Third, you can use chiral solvent. Okay, you can use some chiral solvent. Similarly, you can use chiral catalyst or chiral reagent. What else can be used? Or you can also use even plain polarized light that will provide chiral environment. So there must be presence of some chiral environment. And what is the third requirement is your chiral agent, whatever it is, it must participate in reaction. It must participate in reaction. What that mean? अगर वो रिएक्शन ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करेगा तो ट्रांजिशन स्टेट्स किस तरह ਦੀ ਬਣੇਗੀ? इनेंशियोमेरिक के डायस्टेरियोमेरिक? इनेंशियोमेरिक. सिर्फ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ chiral center ਬਣेगा थोड़ा प्रो chiral unit वाला. So your chiral agent, it must participate in reaction so that transition state must be distereomeric. And as I already told you, diastereomeric transition states, they have different free energy. So transition state with lower energy will gives you a major product. So these three requirements must be there. So let us begin with the very first case when you use chiral substrate. When you use chiral substrate. Before going to that, suppose you have this molecule acetaldehyde, and suppose you do its reduction with lithium aluminum hydride. And as we have already discussed previously, lithium aluminum hydride, your reducing agent is hydridine that undergoes a nucleophilic addition to this carbonyl carbon. Whether this reaction will result in a asymmetric synthesis or not?
No sir.
Why not?
Sir, chiral नहीं बनेगा ना.
There is no chiral environment, even though there is a pro-chiral carbon, but in overall reaction, there is no chiral environment. Your substrate is achiral, your catalyst is achiral, and solvent is also achiral. So what will be product? Now, product here will be mixture. You will get racemic mixture. The synthesis will be symmetric synthesis. This hydride ion, it can attack above side or it can attack below side, and it will give rise to both possible products. Yes or no?
Yes sir.
Okay. So, agar acetaldehyde, in that case, your product is achiral. Suppose instead of here we take some other group, say ethyl group. Okay. Say we take ethyl group here. Okay. So you will get racemic mixture. You get racemic mixture, and this will not be a symmetric synthesis because there is no chiral environment present in reaction. So that chiral environment may be in form of your chiral substrate. So let's take the example of this one. Suppose you have this molecule Okay, suppose you have this molecule and suppose it is treated with the Grignard reagents, that is phenyl magnesium iodide, followed by acetic hydrolysis. Now, what will be product? First of all, symmetric synthesis will take place or asymmetric synthesis will take place?
Asymmetric.
Asymmetric. Now, what is your pro-chiral carbon? Pro-chiral unit?
जैसे कार्बोनिल लग गया था.
Carbonyl.
Okay, this is your pro-chiral unit, and chiral environment is provided by your substrate because your substrate is chiral. It already had one chiral center, so it satisfies all these conditions. So as we have discussed, the addition of this phenyl, which acts as a nucleophile, will take place to this chiral carbon, and from which side this addition will be preferred?
Above the plane.
Above the plane, because below plane
Below the plane phenyl
there is a lot of steric hindrance.
Steric hindrance,
And on
yes.
above you have a simple hydrogen which has very less steric hindrance. So addition of this phenyl will be preferred from above the plane. So it will goes above the plane, and your OH group goes below the plane. So this will be your major product. And in this case, this product is 91.5%. And the second isomer is your minor product. So can you tell me, if we increase bulkiness of this group, bulkiness of one of the group, what will be its effect on its diastereomeric excess?
Increase हो जाएगा.
Increase होएगी. Now can you tell me what is diastereomeric excess in this case? It is 91.5%, remaining 8.5% is this one. So what is diastereomeric excess? What is diastereomeric excess? जल्दी नाल दसो मैनू. Diastereomeric excess का formula थोड़ा दस्या तो होया है, तो किन्नी diastereomeric excess है? Simply की
सर 83
2 upon d1 plus d2 multiply by 100, d1 plus d2 दो ही बन रहे हैं, 100 cancel हो जाएगा. So simply
83
subtract 91 8.5 ਨੂੰ 91.5 ਚੋਂ subtract कर दो. कितना आया?
सर 83
83%. So in this case, diastereomeric excess is 83%. And if you further increase bulkiness of one of the group, the diastereomeric excess will further increase. So in these cases, there is a one very important rule that is called Cram's rule. So it's again very important. Cram's rule. Now what Cram's rule is, this rule describes, or you can say this rule predicts diastereoselectivity This rule predicts diastereoselectivity during addition of nucleophile to carbonyl group with alpha chiral carbon. So Cram's rule, it predicts diastereoselectivity, that means which diastereoisomer will formed in excess as compared to another केहो जे substrates से which carbonyl group जैसे which carbonyl group present होवे with alpha chiral carbon. So Cram's rule is applicable to all those substrates which has chiral group which has carbonyl group with alpha chiral carbon. So we can predict diastereoselectivity to all those substrates by using Cram's rule. So suppose you have this kind of substrate. You have C double bond O, R, and alpha carbon the key है? Alpha carbon is?
chiral है सर.
Chiral.
That means four different groups are attached, and when four different groups are attached, how we can categorize those three different groups? चौथा अपना carbonyl group ही है, and how we can categorize those three different groups? We can categorize them as large, medium, and small. Okay, because all three are different. So one of them should be large, another one will be medium, and third one will be small. Suppose so it has large, medium, and small. So nucleophilic addition to this carbonyl group containing alpha chiral center is described by Cram's rule. That means which diastereoisomer will be formed as a major product. Now, what this rule says, according to this rule, okay, it's very important to remember. So this is your pro-chiral carbon, over which nucleophilic addition will take place, and these three are the remaining group. So according to Cram's rule, your carbonyl group, so this one is your carbonyl group, and I will write its Newman projection. Suppose this is your front carbon, like this. Now what this rule says, your carbonyl group, it orient itself between medium and small group. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਾਰਬਨ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਹੈ since there is a carbon carbon single bond over here ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਬੌਂਡ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਰੈਪਿਡ ਰੋਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਤਾਂ in most favorable conformation this carbonyl group it orient itself in between medium and small group. So this carbonyl group is present in between medium and small group anti to larger group. So it is present anti to larger group. So what Cramp's rule says, in case of carbonyl compounds containing alpha chiral carbon, groups present over alpha chiral carbons, they can be categorized as large, medium and small in such a way that during nucleophilic addition, carbonyl group will orient itself in between medium and small group anti to larger group. This point is clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
this
sir.
is your confirmation when attack on this carbonyl group will take place by which nucleophile. Now there are two situations, there are two cases. Attack of this nucleophile can take place from the side of smaller group. Attack of this nucleophile can take place from the side of medium group. From which side attack will be preferred?
Smaller.
Of course, from smaller side. So let us see case one when attack take place from smaller group. So in this case, this nucleophile will attack over this carbonyl group from this side and this will move towards here. So you will get your next confirmation. So here it will become O minus. Okay, we have, अगर आप ऐसे ना ऐड करिए, and here it will be nucleophile, and here it will remain R group. And if we convert it into, we can also convert it into Fisher projection, and if we do that, it will become. So here you have a L, R, medium, small, OH and nucleophile. Suppose we have added H plus sign also. So you will get this product and this will be your eclipsed intermediate conformation. So that was your case number one. And what will be case two?
From medium side.
When attack take place from the side of medium. So here also you will get corresponding eclipsed conformation. Sorry, there's no negative charge over here. And we can also write it as the corresponding Fisher projection. Now, can you tell me out of these possibilities, which possibility will be preferred and why? So here you have intermediate eclipsed conformation after attack of nucleophile. So which possibility is more preferred? बोलो ये की सोचने वाली गल है
सर फर्स्ट वाली
वाई
सर क्योंकि स्टेक हिंड्रेंस घट होएगी ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ small group ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਦੇ along
yes because in this case when attack of nucleophile take place from the side of smaller group there is a steric hindrance between in intermediate eclipsed conformation there is a steric hindrance between small and nucleophile, smaller group and nucleophile. But when attack take place from the side of medium group, in that case there is a steric hindrance between medium group and nucleophile. Since Steric hindrance between medium and nucleophile will be large so that intermediate eclipsed conformation is less stable. So attack is preferred from the side of smaller group, which give rise to a more stable intermediate eclipsed conformation that further give rise to product. Is it clear?
Yes.
So this rule is called Cramp's rule. We will discuss examples on this Cramp's rule in next lecture. Okay, and we will further continue with this. So now, who will explain this Cramp's rule?